All right, today I'm going to be telling you how to shop for great Cabernet. We're going to be starting the original home of Cabernet Sauvignon, which is Bordeaux, France. Bordeaux is divided by a river, so you have the right bank of the Bordeaux and the left bank of the Bordeaux. If you're looking for the Cabernet heavy wines, you're going to want to start in the left bank. That's where the primary Cabernets are going to be found. Now, one thing I'll tell everybody about Cabernet from Bordeaux. Number one, it's almost always blended. Almost never 100% Cabernet Sauvignon. It's going to be really hard to find one if it even exists out there. The second thing I'll tell you is these left bank Bordeaux, the ones with more Cabernet in the blend, less Merlot, they are almost always going to be more expensive. So like I said, a lot of these regions are primarily Cabernet, but they're often blends. But if you want to know where to look, some of the names I look for, Pauillac. Probably the area with the most Cabernet in the blend within Bordeaux, but once again, even in the mid-range, look at where we are for the prices. We're already over $100 here, we're over $100 here. You might be a little bit shocked to see that, but that's pretty common. Even the more value ones, we're talking $67, things like that, $45, maybe the least expensive we can find. Sounds like a lot of money, but it's not that uncommon. Another area I look for is Graves. This area is known for really aromatic wines. They have very loose, gravelly soil. That's actually where the name Graves comes from. Known for making more aromatic wines. Slightly less expensive than Pauillac, but still pretty pricey overall. This area right here, Pessac-Léognan, the reds are often going to be heavy in Cabernet, kind of in a similar price range to Graves. Those are areas that are kind of very, very close to each other. They're going to be Cabernet heavy, not as expensive as the Pauillac. Another one I look for, Saint-Julien. A little bit more Merlot in the blend than the last two, but often tons of Cabernet. This is a producer I really like, Chateau Béchevel. This is very expensive stuff, something that you would want to do maybe on a special occasion, but incredibly high quality. One of the kings of the Cabernet heavy Bordeaux is going to be Margaux. Chateau Giscourt, really high-end producer from this area. When you see Margaux, you're definitely thinking heavy Cabernet in the blend, but once again, these are never cheap. So another home of high-quality Cabernet is obviously going to be California, Northern California specifically. Napa Valley is kind of the king of your Californian Cabernet Sauvignon. The issue there is the price points are never low. It's very easy to get over 60, 70, even into the hundreds of dollars for Napa Valley Cabernet. But Duckhorn, we've got one of our premium producers here, one that's always reliable, but again, rarely inexpensive. If you want to get a little bit more value for your Cabernet, we're going to walk down here to Sonoma County. Beringer is a nice producer. If you're looking for Sonoma County regions I enjoy, Knights Valley is one that I always look for. You're looking for tons of high quality red wines. They also do Merlot, Zinfandel, Malbec. But if you want high quality Cabernet, similar to Napa, lower price point, Knights Valley and Sonoma is definitely one of the areas that I look for. The other area of Sonoma County I'm always looking for is Alexander Valley. Not too far from Knights Valley. These are both going to be kind of inland in Sonoma County. So again, we're looking for those full-bodied, powerful, structured Cabernets, but a lot better value than Napa Valley overall. All right, so those Northern California Cabernets can get really expensive. If you want to save money but get a similar style, the area I always look for is Paso Robles. This is going to be in Central Coast, California. Further south, Austin Hope is going to be one of your main producers. You can reliably find this in just about any major wine store anywhere around the country. I find the Paso Cabs to be a little bit spicier, a little bit leaner, not quite as big as Napa Valley, not as much alcohol, but the price points are a lot more friendly. I mean, look at this. You can get this for $19.97, $20 on the dot, not bad at all. Even if you go to the higher end producers, $60. Believe it or not, that barely gets you anything in Napa. So if you want that similar structured, full-bodied Cabernet, but you don't want to break the bank, you don't want to spend half a paycheck, Paso Robles is the place to look. So another thing I'll mention is that much like in Bordeaux, California often blends their Cabernets. We have pretty loose wine laws here in America. So believe it or not, your wine only has to be 75% of what it says on the label. So you can say Cabernet Sauvignon on the front of your label, and that wine could be 25% Merlot or any other blend of red wine grapes. So let's talk about where we could get some unblended Cabernets at a much better value than California. One of my favorite places to look for 100% unblended Cabernet is going to be Australia. And they happen to carry one of my absolute favorite cabs in the world, the Two Hands Sexy Beast. This is an Australian producer. They often focus on Syrah or Shiraz, as it's called in Australia. But the Sexy Beast is an amazing Cabernet. I mean, this one comes in, you can get it on sale for $36.89, but $40 full price. I'll be honest, you are not going to touch Napa Valley for $40. Even a lot of the Sonoma stuff that I showed you, that's going to come in over $40. This wine is outstanding. You can get it for a really good deal. I think you get a lot more value out of something from South Australia than you do out of Northern California. One of my favorite areas for Cabernet, right in Australia, I think this one gets overlooked a lot, but I really love the wines. They're super unique, is Coonawarra. Now, Coonawarra in Australia is known for the really unique note of eucalyptus. There's actually a lot of eucalyptus trees in the area, and the character of that just kind of blowing through the air actually gets absorbed by the grapes, and it gives you this kind of minty, menthol, eucalyptus balm, sort of a character to the wine. It's sometimes strong, sometimes subtle. I think it's very interesting, but I love the wines of Coonawarra. Look at the price point. I mean, $15. Even if you go right next door, the same producer is making one from Margaret River, another famous region for Cabernet. This one's a blend, but this is coming in just under $20 as well. So check out Coonawarra if you want to explore things with a lot of character, but you're not going to break the bank overall. All right, so if all those wines sound a little bit expensive to you, you want to know where I go for high quality Cabernet at a lower price point, definitely Chile. And my favorite sub-region of Chile for Cabernet is Maipo Valley. Now, this isn't complicated at all. If you walk into your average wine store, you can definitely find these. We were hunting around for a couple minutes, didn't take too long to find one. But Chile is a very long country. They produce Cabernet throughout the country. It's really their specialty as far as red wine, that and Carmenere. But Maipo Valley is really where I look for high quality Cabernet. And what are we talking about in terms of a price point for high quality in Chile? $17.99, not bad at all. If you're buying Josh Cabernet, Robert Mondavi Reserve, you're not going to pay $1 more, and I guarantee you're going to like this a lot better. So while we're talking about Chile, Argentina also does a lot of really high quality 100% Cabernets. Mendoza, which also has a lot of famous sub-regions, areas within there that do high quality stuff. That's a great place to look for Cabernet. I mean, they're really known for the high quality Malbec, but Cabernet grows in very similar environments, so it works out great. Check this out. $9.99 full price, not even on sale. And this is an estate bottled wine, meaning that all of the winemaking and the bottle is done by the estate, not a third party. I can absolutely guarantee you, you are not getting estate grown, estate bottled wine for $9.99 anywhere in California.